The project and what we needed to be done was to redo the entire buyer and seller workflows, and also just the current vibe of the site as well too. So it just really needed to sort of be this really aesthetically pleasing yet very functional website, and I was really hoping that those two would find a nice place where they would meet. So kind of bounced it around internally and decided to farm it out and find a good team to work on it. So, we had tried our hand with some UX resources that were considered sort of jack of all trades, and realized that as hard as they were working, it was hard for them to be able to get the full context of the site, doing a complete overhaul on the UX, and then make it pretty, make it beautiful, make it usable, and think about all of the different use cases on the site. And after I had sort of experimented with this one person, I sat around, I looked at it, and just said, this is something a team is needed. A team that can sit down, not be bothered by other stuff, and go create X, Y, and Z for current needs. And just focus on what's needed. Since our tech team and our CTO had been heavily involved with the project, we were able to sort of start building some of the back end first to get it going. What was super helpful though was that Freshtilt created a design sort of, we had just all of our UX flows, which probably 10 to 15 sort of concepts, I think, going through with different views. But say, this is how the site's going to look. All of the site is up on a dev server where we're able to just click through all the wireframes, which is super helpful. And if I have any questions, like in 2 hours response time, usually it's like, oh no, it was this, or I'm like, oh no, did I forget to tell them to do X, Y, and Z? And then I'm like, no, just go here, and it's right there. And I'm like, oh, there we go. So that's been amazing. Instant response times. It's not one of those situations where the engagement's over. So you pray for something in a couple days, and an invoice as well too. So what was great and what was super surprising to the entire team was that the Freshtilt team, I think within the first 2 weeks, was like, this is what you're trying to do, this is what we have going. And we never felt, I think after those first 2 weeks, where I'm like, oh, they just don't get what we're trying to do. The site grew as we were working on it, so that the dev team and the CTO were able to see what was being built, plan on how they were going to build the site out, and start figuring out how we were going to divvy up the work, how the back end was going to work. So actually, I think in the last week just got contacted by somebody who's going through that actual type of evaluation, and I think it had been going over for a little bit, and I just said, that same advice, like, listen, to get somebody internal and one person versus getting a team that's able to focus on this in a quick amount of time, it's just an absolute no-brainer for me, and most people should. So that's the advice I give. So.